Welcome aboard as MrBalerdash takes us on a journey through one of America's most breathtaking landscapes. Join us on an unforgettable adventure with American Cruise Lines as we explore the legendary Columbia and Snake Rivers. From towering waterfalls and majestic mountains to lush green forests and historic paddle-wheelers, every turn reveals another spectacular view. Experience the beauty, history, and wonder of the Pacific Northwest. As the sun sets on another unforgettable day, the next day our adventure continues to one of the Pacific Northwest's most iconic landmarks, beautiful Multnomah Falls. As we explore its breathtaking beauty, discover the stories behind this magnificent waterfall. Standing 620 feet tall, Multnomah Falls is Oregon's tallest year-round waterfall and one of the most photographed in the Pacific Northwest. Fed by underground springs from Larch Mountain, the falls cascade in two spectacular tiers, while the historic Benson Bridge offers visitors an unforgettable view halfway between the upper and lower falls. As we leave the majestic Multnomah Falls, our adventure carries us deeper into the Columbia River Gorge, revealing breathtaking landscapes and some of the most spectacular scenery in the Pacific Northwest. Towering stacks of freshly cut lumber await shipment from the Columbia River. For more than a century, this river has served as a vital transportation route, carrying Pacific Northwest timber to markets across the United States and around the world. Barges have played a major role in the history and economy of the Columbia River for generations. These powerful vessels move massive amounts of cargo, including lumber, grain, and other goods, between inland communities and the Pacific Ocean. The river's deep channels and lock systems allow barges to travel hundreds of miles, making it one of the most important transportation routes in the Pacific Northwest. Personally, I really enjoyed the touch of humor with a happy face on the front of the barge. I would hope everyone will smile when they see this. One of the most fascinating parts of traveling the Columbia and Snake Rivers is watching the landscape transform before your eyes. Near the Pacific Ocean, the Columbia River Gorge receives abundant rainfall from moist ocean air. The result is a lush green paradise filled with towering Douglas firs, moss-covered cliffs, ferns, and spectacular waterfalls like Multnomah Falls. The mild, wet climate supports dense forests and thriving vegetation, making this one of the most scenic river corridors in North America. As you continue eastward along the Columbia River and into the Snake River, the climate changes dramatically. The Cascade Mountains block much of the Pacific moisture, creating what is known as a rain shadow. Annual rainfall drops sharply, and the landscape becomes much drier, with rolling golden hills, sagebrush, rocky cliffs, and wide-open vistas replacing the dense forests. Despite the drier conditions, this region remains rich in agriculture thanks to the Columbia and Snake Rivers, whose waters provide irrigation for orchards, vineyards, wheat fields, and other crops throughout eastern Washington and Idaho. Completed in 1938 during the Great Depression, Bonneville Dam was the first federally funded dam on the Columbia River. Built to generate clean hydroelectric power, improve navigation, and control flooding, it became a cornerstone of development throughout the Pacific Northwest and remains one of the region's most important engineering achievements. Today, Bonneville Dam supplies renewable electricity to hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses while allowing ships and barges to travel the Columbia River through its navigation lock. Its famous fish ladders also help migrating salmon and steelhead bypass the dam, balancing the region's energy needs with protection of its valuable fish populations. These were built to help salmon and steelhead continue their natural migration. They provide a series of gently rising pools that allow fish to swim around the dam. Without these ladders, many fish would be unable to reach the cold mountain streams where they were born to spawn. The fish return from the Pacific Ocean after spending several years at sea, guided by an extraordinary instinct that leads them back to the very streams where they were born. Along the way, they face countless obstacles, including strong currents, predators, and multiple dams. The fish ladders are an essential part of the Columbia River system, helping sustain healthy fish populations while supporting the region's fishing industry, Native American traditions, and the overall health of the river ecosystem. After leaving Bonneville Dam, we were off to the Bonneville Fish Hatchery, one of Oregon's oldest and most successful hatcheries. Established in 1909, the hatchery plays an important role in raising salmon and steelhead to help restore and maintain healthy fish populations throughout the Columbia River Basin. The hatchery is also home to impressive adult fish displays and educational exhibits that explain the salmon's remarkable life cycle. Visitors can even meet Herman the sturgeon, a giant white sturgeon believed to be more than 80 years old and over 10 feet long, making him one of the hatchery's most famous residents. Our journey now takes us to Hood River, Oregon, proudly known as the windsurfing capital of the world. Here, powerful winds sweeping through the Columbia River Gorge combine with the river's swift current to create ideal conditions for windsurfing, kiteboarding, wingfoiling, and other exciting water sports. Every year, athletes from around the globe come here to test their skills. The unique geography of the Columbia River Gorge creates dependable winds that often exceed 20 to 30 miles per hour during the summer months. Whether you're a world-class competitor or simply watching from the shore, the colorful sails and spectacular mountain backdrop make Hood River one of the most exciting and scenic destinations in the Pacific Northwest. As we leave the colorful windsurfers behind, our journey continues east beneath the Hood River Bridge and deeper into the magnificent Columbia River Gorge. Before long, we arrive at the Dalles Lock. Once again, we experience the fascinating process of locking through as our ship is gently raised to the next level of the river, allowing us to continue our unforgettable voyage upstream. These are the lock gates behind our ship. I've sped up the video and photos to keep the story moving, but in real time, the locking process is much slower. I then move to the front of the ship to give you a different perspective. The entire process typically takes between 30 and 45 minutes as the massive gates close, the water level rises, and our ship is gently lifted to the next level of the river before the gates open and we continue our journey upstream. As we continue along the Columbia River, you'll notice traditional fishing platforms extending over the water. For thousands of years, Native American tribes, including the Yakama, Nez Perce, Umatilla, and Warm Springs, have fished these waters during the annual salmon runs. Many of these historic fishing sites are still used today under treaty rights, preserving traditions that have been passed down for countless generations. Yet another dam marks another step in our journey upstream. During our American Cruise Line's adventure on the Columbia and Snake Rivers, we passed through 8 massive dams and 8 navigation locks. Each lock carefully raises our ship to the next river level, making this voyage as much an engineering marvel as it is a scenic cruise. Together, these dams provide hydroelectric power, improve navigation, and help manage the mighty Columbia River system. As our unforgettable journey comes to an end, we had the opportunity to explore the legendary Hell's Canyon by jet boat. Traveling nearly 50 miles into North America's deepest river gorge, we were surrounded by towering canyon walls, rugged landscapes, and incredible wildlife. It was the perfect finale to an amazing adventure through the Columbia and Snake Rivers, leaving us with memories that will last a lifetime. As the sun sets on our unforgettable journey through the Columbia and Snake Rivers, it's time to say goodbye. I hope you've enjoyed sharing this incredible adventure with me, from majestic waterfalls and towering mountains to historic locks, dams, and the breathtaking beauty of Hell's Canyon. Thank you for traveling with MrBalerdash. Until our next adventure, stay curious, travel often, and I'll see you down the road.